Hey, yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my reaction gamers? So, chat, is it so wrong to just want attractive characters? That is a amazing question, chat. The answer is obviously not. You wonder where all the attractive characters have gone. Chat, come over to this side. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, Eastern companies have not let me down. Anyways, chat, let's watch this video. Oh, unless they're by like, oh god, what company was it? Sony, I guess. Sony hates Japan. Anyways, let's go.
I just do not understand why some developers keep getting it wrong. It really feels so
I don't know. I really don't. Here's my question, right? People have access to the same information that we do, and probably even more. And we see games like Honkai Star Rail, which I think last month made about $100 million in a month. Granted, it was the anniversary, I think. I believe it was the anniversary, and it came out with Castris, which was like a big deal. Dude, all those characters are hot. Look up any character from Honkai Star Rail. Like, they're all hot. Chat. Any of these gacha games have hot characters, and they make millions of dollars monthly. And you're wondering why, and your game doesn't. I don't understand how Western devs mess it up. Or if they want microtransactions, just follow what they do. You know, tell me your game your game couldn't be improved with gacha mechanics. And I'm not talking about like FIFA where everything is gacha. I mean like a free-to-play game with some gacha mechanics. And anyways, let's go.
simple. Yes, give us great gameplay, fun mechanics, an interesting and meaningful story, but then layer attractive, pretty characters on top of that to create hype around the game, grab our interest, and hold our attention. All of this just makes for a much more enjoyable experience. So this video is kind of related to my very first video about women in games, but before we get into it, we have to acknowledge everybody that is subscribed to the channel.
Ooh, I think she's gone from like 300 chat to about 114,000. That's wild.
I don't really even know what to say. This has been such a overwhelming week in the best way, but thank you. I
mean, congratulations to her, chat. She's got some really good content, I think so. And I like watching it. I liked the first video. I think this video is going to be really good too, but you know, shout out to her.
Thank you to every single one of you for all of the comments and messages and just all of the support.
Yippee.
Now, let's talk about hot characters.
Yes, let's do it.
I've always found it very interesting when I see some gamers say, I don't care what my character looks like, I just want a good game. And while, sure, I believe some people probably do feel that way, when you actually look around at what's successful and what's not, what resonates and what doesn't, the idea that visuals don't matter, it doesn't really hold up. The second you start digging into this stuff, it's pretty clear. Visuals play a huge role in whether something hits or flops. And if they didn't, cosmetics probably wouldn't be one of the most profitable parts of the entire gaming industry.
Oh god, chat. I think I've spent, what was it? I think like $4,000 in the I think it was about $4,000 in over 7 years, 8 years of playing League of Legends, something like that. I had to get one skin, and then I had to get another skin, and you know, I used to main Riven, and Riven, I like having variety, so I had to buy every single skin of hers that was available. Well, I like playing Yasuo, and once I got Yasuo skin, I had to get all of hers. Oh, but then this other new character came out called Gwen, and I really liked her, but then I had to buy all of her skins. Oh, but then Gwen, I had a Gwen only account, and then I had to get all the, you know, at least one skin of Gwen on that one because I don't like using the base skin. So it's like, man, I am very bad when it comes to cosmetics and like very attractive characters.
The truth is, I think most of us do care, even if it's subconsciously. And this isn't just a gaming thing, but for whatever reason, the gaming industry seems especially confused about it because books, anime, movies, shows, we care about how the characters look. We always have. Now, just to be clear, an attractive character cannot save bad writing or bad gameplay. A great design won't make a boring game fun, and eye candy is totally pointless if there's—
I think a good example of this is probably the first Descendant. Like, the first Descendant has essentially all you would want in a game in terms of, like, attractiveness and jiggle physics and everything. I think they just added even more jiggle physics into the game. But the game is just a lot more grindy than it needs to be, right? Like, that game is not that good. I don't think. Now, for anyone who plays the Final Descendant, you guys can tell me in the description. Me, personally, I don't. I gave it a shot, and I just never went back. But, you know, there's these games with, like, good writing and hot characters, like, literally any game that's popular right now. Or, you know, Nier Automata, that game was amazing. I still love that game. I kind of want to go back and play it again, to be honest, just because I've had it on my Steam list and I've only like played through it once. But like games with, I'm trying to think of a bad game with hot characters. Other than Final Descent, I can't think of another one.
There's zero substance to it.
I'm sure there's more,
and
right?
On the opposite side, it's not like a game is necessarily doomed if the characters are uninspired or unattractive. But let's be honest, we have been done dirty quite a few times at this point. But when it does work, when you combine great writing, a solid gameplay, and a compelling visual design, that's really when the secret sauce hits. And that's when a character truly becomes iconic. So, how important is beauty really? What can it actually be used for in storytelling, and why does it matter at all? Yes, beauty is completely subjective,
she's hot.
But let's try and
that's probably from Zelda.
Together. When it comes to storytelling, beauty isn't just about looking good. It's about what that beauty communicates. It's a kind of visual shorthand for personality, purpose, or the emotional tone of a character. Take Cortana from Halo. She's sleek, luminous, and kind of untouchable. Her ethereal design isn't random. It reinforces her role as an AI. She's attractive, mysterious, highly advanced, but
I think her boobs got bigger throughout the games. I could be wrong. Someone what do you call it? Someone confirmed that.
Just slightly out of reach. Or Aerith from Final Fantasy. She's beautiful in this really soft, gentle way. Her design radiates hope and warmth, and you feel that when she's on screen. There's something very delicate and endearing about her that sticks with you. Then there's Eve from Stellar Blade.
Yeah, let's go!
Yeah, people definitely noticed her design pretty much immediately. She's bold, striking, and yes, super hot. But what...
Yep, let's just say, chat, let me just put it this way. This is not, what do you call it? This is not a alley that this company has not been down before. Because if you guys don't know, the same company has made this game called Goddess of Victory Nikkei. Let me just show you what the characters look like in that. They look like this. If I can pull it up, give me a second. These characters are, and they don't get better, by the way. They get a lot worse and a lot sexier. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, let me just bring this up. Like, dude, look at this. Let's just say they know what they're doing, right? They're aware. They're very aware. They're very aware.
What's cool is that once the game launched, the gameplay actually backed it up. And okay, can we talk about Verso from Clair Obscur for a second? Because he is undeniably very handsome. The white hair, the posture, the somber expression. He's restrained, haunted, and you immediately feel like there's something deeper going on. These characters aren't designed to just be pretty. They're designed with intention. Their looks are part of their emotional blueprint, and the fact that they're attractive is what actually initially draws you in. Their looks tell you how to feel before a single line of dialogue. As humans, we are biologically wired to respond to beauty, and that's not a bad thing. So when a character's design feels off, or it doesn't match the story we're being told, that disconnect can make it way harder to emotionally connect. And this kind of visual storytelling has been around for ages. This is nothing new, and it's not just in games, it's everywhere, especially in film. Taking a look at Lord of the Rings, think about Aragorn. Rugged, attractive, weathered, and quietly noble.
Oh my God,
his entire look reflects the burden that he carries, and you can see the weight of his past just by looking at him. Then there's Eowyn and Arwen, two beautiful women with
goodness gracious, they're really attractive.
Totally different vibes. One
they're almost like glowing, like she's glowing.
Warrior with conviction, the other is a very soft, ethereal queen. And their looks reflect who they are at their core. And that's what good design does. It supports the story. All right, switching tones completely here, but I have to talk about my love for the Mummy series very quickly. Because Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz...
Oh, I was going to say like the actual Mummy? Like the movie?
weren't just very fun, flirty, iconic characters. They were extremely captivating. Their chemistry was off the charts, and they were both ridiculously attractive. Okay,
Yeah.
but their beauty didn't just
Yeah,
decorate
they
the film;
are.
it amplified it. The adventure they were on,
That's
the
funny.
romance, the danger. I actually love this series so much. I used to work at the Mummy roller coaster at Universal, and I may
Oh,
or may
wow.
not have hearing loss in my one ear thanks to Brendan Fraser screaming for his coffee at the end of the ride.
Oh.
Just a little bit of NPC lore for you.
Damn.
So if we
That's rough, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that.
know that beauty helps tell the story, what about when it's entirely in the player's hands? Let's talk about character customization and the literal billions being spent on it. Video game cosmetics are a multi-billion-dollar industry. In fact, media research projects that purely cosmetic in-game purchases will reach $100 billion a year by 2028. Let that sink in for a second.
Actually, I'm not even surprised because I once watched a live stream from a skin that was actually boycotted by the NA League of Legends players. It was a $500 Ari skin. And over here in North America, people were boycotting it because they thought it was really dumb. And they actually started perma-banning Ari. So in North America, she had the lowest pick rate of all time. But when Faker did a live stream for a Chinese live streaming service, and it showed how many times people were purchasing, because it was Faker's skin, how many times they were purchasing his skin. I think in that single stream, that skin made about $3 million of China alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just talking about this with my chat the other day. It's just like, you know, it's kind of funny because over here in America, or over here in the West, we are very much advocates to not pay to win and not, you know, for the gacha scene, of course. We are very much free to play advocates and not spending money. But yet in other countries, you're actually looked down upon if you don't spend money on these, you know, mobile games. It's kind of funny, the difference in like cultures and stuff like that.
$100 billion a year for making your character look nice.
10 billion of
Listen,
that's got to be
all
League of
right,
Legends.
I'm not ashamed that I myself played a part in this pretty recently. I hadn't touched Fortnite in like 7
Let's
or 8
go,
years, but I
Fortnite!
randomly started playing duos again over the last few months, and pretty much right after I did, I saw none other than Spike Spiegel and Faye Valentine in the shop.
I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that collab.
Buying up those V-Bucks. Pretty much.
I'm about to spend I think about $50 on Carlotta and Chung Lee's summer skin, so I feel you.
Immediately. It was just the idea of getting to play as some of the characters I love so much in a game that
I have so many Fortnite skins, it's really bad.
unironically been having a ton of fun with. It was almost like I had no choice here. Quick side note, Faye Valentine definitely goes on our list of amazing female characters,
Yes.
for sure. And I
Yes.
must confess, I also purchased the Sabrina Carpenter skin.
This is a side note. I'm not really a big fan of like IRL celebrity skins, but that's neither here nor there.
Just so pretty. Now on the flip side, the opposite is true too. When character design fails to resonate, players clock it immediately. This is very
Yeah.
old news at this point, but I always think about Concord. This was really the
Oh
first
my
time,
God.
at least for me, that I had
It's
seen
so
so
bad.
much public backlash about character design. And for Concord, yeah, it kind of seems like this was one of the biggest reasons that it flopped. People did not like the characters.
Dude, they look
They
so
felt
weird.
awkward,
That girl looks like Thugnificent over there.
Inspired, off-putting.
Why is that guy
forced in a
have
market
pants?
full of games where the character designs are
Why
intended
does the
to
robot
be
guy have
inherently
pants? Well, I'm
beautiful,
covering him, but he has
bold,
pants.
attractive.
Oh,
Concord's
that looks
cast
so
kind of
weird.
looked like they were built by a committee just to check boxes. And then there's Starfield. This game was supposed to be
jeez.
massive, story-rich, world-expanding, but on top of just so-so gameplay, the one thing I kept seeing over and over again was how unappealing, bland-looking, and emotionally empty the NPCs
This thing is like staring into my soul. Is that weird? I feel uncomfortable with this thing on the screen. I don't want it to look at me anymore.
felt. They didn't draw you in. Or
Oh my God,
match
that
the
one's so much
tone of the
worse.
world, for the most part. They were just generic
Yeesh.
copy paste that you didn't really want.
Copy
to engage
pasta?
with. Another game that comes to mind that I've mentioned before is Star Wars Outlaws. Unfortunately, both good gameplay and good character design were a miss here. And there were even moments where Kay Vess didn't look quite human, which
Jesus.
is very wild because her actress
Why did her
is
eyes get
so
bigger?
stunning. The blueprint
Oh.
was right there.
Dude, like oh my God, I would. Do these people not complain? I would complain. Like, I remember there is not a voice actor. There is a model who was actually the butt model for Sue Storm, and let's just say they got every pixel out of her ass and they made it very true to form. I don't know how or why they do this kind of thing, dude. I would be so offended. I'd be like, you know what? Don't use my likeness. Either get it close to me or don't use my likeness. I'm not having this.
But for some reason, I guess
like if you play GTA 5, Franklin looks like Solo. You know, Trevor looks like Stephen Ogg. And Michael looks like God, I can't remember his name. I had his Neil. I don't remember his last name, but his name is Neil. Like, they look like the characters. What happened?
Make a character design that did her justice. And the disconnect across all of these examples is important to note because it's not just about realism, it's about relatability. Games are probably the biggest storytelling medium, and a character's design should invite you into the story. People want to feel something when they look at a character. Excitement, admiration, curiosity. And when what you're looking at feels flat, awkward, or overly ordinary, like someone you just passed by on the street, it breaks the fantasy. And that desire for your character to look attractive and appealing, it starts even before the actual game begins. Take Baldur's Gate 3, for example. According to Larian, players collectively spent over 8,000 years just in the character creator.
Wow.
That's like 16% of the game's total playtime. Before even starting the game. And yes, I did contribute to that.
Actually,
because to me,
I shouldn't ask that. I should know that it's really detailed. I was going to say, how detailed is this character creation? It looks it looks very detailed.
Character aesthetics are just part of the immersion. They're part of what makes an incredible game. They help me feel more emotionally anchored in the world and make for a way more enjoyable experience. And this goes for both male and female characters alike. Even in Red Dead Redemption 2, I loved getting to change Arthur's hair, his beard, and outfits.
Make him bald.
I'm just so glad we got to do that because I really felt like I could reflect where he was at mentally
and emotionally. Got a great mustache.
That small touch made him feel a lot more real. Now, switching gears for a quick moment. Bear with me here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and out myself for a second. I love a good romantasy book. Yes, I know. But before you roll your eyes and you click off the video, please just hear me out. This genre includes some of the best-selling books on the market. You maybe have heard of series like Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, and the characters in these stories are described with this enchanted, ethereal kind of beauty. It's dramatic, it's swoony, it's meant to sweep you off your feet.
That's kind of cool. I like his tattoos.
It's part of the fantasy. It's part of the immersion. There's even one fan favorite image of a certain ACOTAR character that went viral, and for many fans, that's basically canon now. Godspeed to whatever casting director has to find that guy in the real world. They will come for you.
Good luck, dude.
The exact same thing happens in anime and animation, sometimes even more intensely. These characters are designed from the ground up to be visually appealing. Their looks are exaggerated, idealized, sometimes maybe a little too much, but we love them for it. And there's a reason that certain characters dominate cosplay every con season.
Yeah, Tifa has been a character for I don't even know how long at this point. And Tifa will continue to get cosplayers well into the future. I don't know a single person who's ever cosplayed a Concord character. And I don't think anyone ever will. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know. I think there's probably more of a chance of someone cosplaying that girl from that Star Wars game. But I can't imagine any Concord character has ever been cosplayed. Anyway, chat, Sailor Blade, am I right?
Why fans fight over who's best girl or best boy with genuine passion. Even in the VTuber space, visual design is everything.
Is that who I think it is? Is that the yapping fox? Chat, my streamer right there. I love her. Actually, she's one of the reasons why I started doing React content. Fun fact. And I found her just randomly one day when I was grinding a game and she did a shoe on hit reaction. And then I found her.
And there's a reason VTubers put so much effort into their appearance, and people can completely fall in love with them before they...
Chat, I'm not going to lie to you. Do you know how much effort I came into my design? Which I love, by the way. But my effort into my design was me using a picture off of a create your character here in League of Legends. And I think my Vroid model, which I might still have a picture of my Vroid model. I'm not sure. But, you know, in terms of my design, I just got those two characters and spliced them together, and it just worked out. It just did. And dude, I love my design. My design's great. But to say that I did like here, I think I have both these pictures here. Let me show you both these pictures. But here are both of my design references. It's this character. This is from the art. It was like an Arcane create your character here, and then this was my old Vroid. This was like the characters. I just spliced these two together, and that's how I came to be. It's kind of funny, but it's it's how it happened.
They ever even hear their voice. The look, the aesthetic, the vibe,
Shay Lily.
all is meant to draw people in. The design is the hook. All of this is so important because when a character looks the way they're supposed to feel, that's when the magic happens. That's when people get protective. That's when a fandom really forms. Piggybacking off of all of that, I'd like to touch on something very quickly that gets brought up a lot in conversations like this. And that's the idea that it's just gamers that are the ones who care way too much about a character's appearance. That it's just gamers who have this problem. Like the second someone doesn't like a design, it's suddenly gamers are just toxic and you just need to get over it. But based on everything that I've said,
well, yeah, you're selling video games. Who else are gonna buy the games?
Thus far, honestly,
Hello?
I do not
Am
think
I
that's
trolling?
fair because this is a thing across every genre, every medium. Everybody wants well-designed, fun, good-looking, beautiful, charismatic characters. It's how we're wired, and it's why certain characters instantly spark hype online or can aid in tanking a release before
it's true. They didn't appeal to toxic gamers, quote unquote, as they say, and that amounted to, I think, 30,000 sales. So I think it's time to, how you say, fall in line. No more thinking for yourselves. Fall in line and make these hot characters. I am no longer asking. This is a demand.
even out of the oven. Yes.
Or don't. I don't care. Rememento just came out. Ethereal Restart's coming out next month, and NTE is on the horizon. Don't make these characters. I don't care. I'm not buying this. I'm not spending $80 on someone that looks like this. Give her hair, goddammit. Why does she not have hair? Someone answer me. Why she doesn't have hair? I'm sick of it, chat. I am no longer having this. I want this character to have hair. Why does she not have hair? Make her a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? We're the tomboys in AAA gaming. You know what? Whatever. I don't care.
I'm looking at you, Intergalactic. Now, again, I am not saying every character in a game needs to look like a supermodel, but what I am so tired of seeing is characters intentionally designed to be less appealing. When the people making the decisions nerf a character's looks in a way that has nothing to do with their actual background or story, they just do it just because.
True.
It really makes no sense. It creates unnecessary dissonance, and it pulls people out of the fantasy instead of drawing them in. My last note on this here is just think about celebrities. Think about how people respond to celebrities, whether they're singers or actors. How they look, their appearance is always part of the conversation.
True.
And so many times you could easily say it even contributes to their success. Even when it technically has nothing to do with what they're known for, it somehow still does. Because that's just how humans respond to other humans. We're made that way. We notice, we connect, we feel, and what we see at the first glance is the very first step of that. So of course, while beauty is not everything, and it's certainly not a substitute for good writing, gameplay, or mechanics, it's so often our very first impression, and usually it's the first thing that really captures our attention, lets us know what a character is about, and makes us care. And this is something that has always mattered and will always matter, regardless of the medium being used to tell the story. And all of this is why I just do not understand why some developers keep getting it wrong. It really feels so simple. Yes, give us great gameplay, fun mechanics, a interesting and meaningful story, but then
please pick me up. I'm not that tall. Sorry, go ahead.
Layer attractive, pretty characters on top of that to create hype around the game, grab our interest, and hold our attention. All of this just makes for a much more enjoyable experience. For developers who are passionate about the projects that they're making, and they're doing it for the right reasons, odds are this is probably already all included. So it really is a guaranteed formula for success. And they're shooting themselves.
I remember Samus, bro. I remember Zero Suit Samus. when she released, boy oh boy did everyone pick her, and man, she was she was all that and more.
In the foot, if the very first thing that we see is a bland, boring, or just unappealing protagonist or cast of characters. Sorry for the outfit jump scare. This is editor NPC here, and I was watching this back through and wanted to make sure I just clarified this point really well at the end. All right, I'll see myself out. Okay, thank you so much to those who made it to the end of this video. I'm genuinely so glad that you were here. Like I said at the start, this past week has been a bit of a whirlwind. I just want to say I appreciate everyone and your support so much. I still really can't wrap my head around everything that's happening, but I'm just gonna be here doing my thing like I was already planning to do. So thank you again for being a part of this YouTube journey with me.
I mean, like I said, bro, she really deserves it. You know what's really funny? This actually gives a lot more context to when I scroll down here, why I saw Smuggalana. I mean, it's not like it's weird for Smuggalana to be like commenting on stuff, but still, I was like, huh, Smuggalana's in here. I wonder where she came from. I figured it out. It's because she's in this video. Anyway, chat, bring back the hot women, chat. If you listen, there is a reason why Marvel Rivals is popping off still, and, you know, Concord died, right? Like, look at Emma Frost when she came out. Ultron's coming out. I don't know if he's out already. No one's really made a big deal about it, but everyone had made a big deal when Emma Frost came out. Chat, I just want to see these games come out. If not, hey, it's what it is. Anyway, chat, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.